Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you my Nordic Alfar deck profile. I know I said I was going to be doing a Nordic Beast deck profile, but a couple videos ago I said, I made both these decks and I felt a lot more at ease or comfortable with this deck and how it was finished. I'm still going to do the Nordic Beast deck, but I want to look it over a little bit because, like I said, at the moment I think this one's better than my Beast one. So yeah, we're going to go ahead, show you all the cards, how they work, and that's pretty much it. Let's get started. Pretty much the deck is meant to get Loki, Lord of the Aesir out. So yeah, first up, you're going to use 2 Mara of the Nordic Alfar. This is a really good Nordic monster. He was released in Extreme Victory. I don't know why, like one of the only Nordic monsters, but he's got a really good effect. When you summon him, the other material that you use for him are in your hand. So if you have to be Nordic monsters, of course, but if you have like Dverg or Yugioh in your hand, you got Synchro Summon right there on the first turn. So you can either have level 7, or if you got 2 Yugioh, you got Loki on the first turn, and there's nothing really better than that. So yeah, that's your first 2 tuners of the deck. Your next 2 are Svartalf. He's a level 5 Nordic Alfar monster. A little more difficult to get out, but he is really good because he's level 5, and we've got other level 5s in the deck, which I'll show you in a bit. So yeah, his effect is when he is normal summoned, you can select 1 Nordic monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So pretty much he's replenished. So if you lose any of your Nordic monsters, he's an easy way to get him back. And he's level 14, so like stuff like Bottomless won't affect him. Next you're going to run Dverg of the Nordic Alfar. He's level 1, and when he is normal summoned, you can normal summon 1 Nordic monster in addition to your normal summon. You can only activate it once per turn. So basically it's just a swarm card, help you get more Nordic monsters on the field to synchro. Next, one card I think is really nice, Yugioh of the Nordic Alfar. He's your only Nordic Alfar level 4 monster. And when he is normal summoned, you can select 1 face-up monster you control except this card, and special summon 1 Nordic monster from your hand with a level less than or equal to it. So he pretty much works with Svartalf. If you have Dverg in your hand and Svartalf is on the field, you could special summon him and have Loki right there. That's it for the Nordic Alfar monsters. Next we have some other basic monsters that work with him. You're going to run 3 Cyber Dragons. Basically this is good for swarming the field when you have no monsters on the field. So his effect, when you have no monsters and your opponent has a monster, you can special summon him, and he's level 5 as well. So if you got a Svartalf on the field with him, that's a Loki right there. So yeah, you gotta run 3. You're also gonna have 1 Effect Veiler. That's pretty basic. You're gonna run, this was an idea of mine, just so you have more Nordic monsters, you're gonna run 1 tier of the Nordic champions. He'll pretty much protect your other Nordic Alfar monsters on the field. He's got 2,000 attack, 2,000 defense, good block, at least until you synchro summon, and you can use him for synchro summons. You can use him for, he's pretty much an addition with Yugioh with Mara, because you can use he's got Nordic in his hand, so you can pretty much use him and Yugioh to synchro summon Loki, or yeah, pretty much that. You're going to run 1 Sangan for search ability, 1 level leader, pretty much to reduce the levels of any of your Alfar monsters if they're not working out for you. So you can adjust to synchros. You're going to run only 1 Chaos Sorcerer. There's a lot of light and dark monsters in this deck. Pretty much the Nordic Alfars and the others I had are all light and dark. So he'll be good for special summons. And the only reason you're running 1 is because now you can also run this in the deck. You're going to run 1 Blackluster Soldier Envoy at the beginning. He's got the same exact effect as Chaos Sorcerer, except, he's better power, better effects in my opinion. So yeah, you'll run one of each of those. That's pretty much defense, just in case you can't get Loki out. You've got those guys. Those guys are pretty much heavy hitters. 2 Mystic Tomatoes. They're search. When they're sent to the graveyard, you can pretty much special summon. Actually, you can summon any of the Nordic monsters, Alfar monsters. And for the last of the monsters, 2 more spellcasters. You're going to run Breaker the Magical Warrior. Pretty much he's to destroy spells and traps, and he's another level 4. That's it for the monsters. Next we're going to go on to spells. One of the new cards, you're going to run 1 Wonder Wand. You have a lot of spellcasters in this deck, and Wonder Wand helps with draw power and with attack boosts. You run 1 Secret Village of the Spellcasters. Just give your opponent the ability not to use spells. And you got a lot of spellcasters, so you won't have to worry about you not using spells. 1 Heavy Storm. 1 Dark Hole. Pretty much, you all know this. 1 Mystical Space Typhoon, 1 Book of Moon, and 1 Enemy Controller. There's a lot more traps in this deck than magic cards. Next, you're going to run 2 Gleipnir, the Fetters of Fenrir. Pretty much search for Nordic monsters. You gotta use them in any Nordic deck. 1 7 Tools of the Bandit, 1 Bottomless Trap Hole. This is just an idea of mine. You run 1 Tuner Scheme, really good card, really underrated. 1 Mirror Force. 2 Compulsory Evacuation Devices. 2 Deep Prisons. 1 Trap Stun. Like I said, the village blocks spells, use this to block traps, so your opponent can't, get rid of your synchros that easily. That happens a lot. 1 Torrential, and then the final is 1 Dust Tornado. So yeah, that's it for the main deck. Like I said, it works really well. It's very diverse. Everything works well together. Next, we'll go on to the synchros. Your basic one, you're going to run 2 Loki. The reason I want 3, 2 is pretty much all you'll need. You'll synchro summon 1, and if you can't get out the second one, after you get 2, you should pretty much have the duel in your hands. Another good monster you want to run, since you can do level 6 with this deck, you're going to run 1 Bryonic, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. Another one, Mistworm. So pretty much any monsters that are level 6 or 9 synchro, you want to run in this deck, because you can get them out quickly. If you don't have Bryonic, add a Gaia Knight, Force of the Earth. You want to run 1 Trishula. We're going to throw this in just to see how it works, since it's a spellcaster. 1 Arcanite Magician. Then 1 Black Rose Dragon and 1 Stardust Dragon. And this was an idea of mine, just to see how it would work. I want to run 1 Taras, Keeper of Genesis, and 1 Adrius, Keeper of Armageddon. Basically, why I want to run these 2 is because you've got a lot of level 5 monsters. Not a lot, but a good amount. Pretty much here, you've got your Cyber Dragons and your Svartalf of the Nordic Alfar. Let's say you've already synchro summoned for your Lokis. If you got, or you just say you got 2 Cyber Dragons on the field, or 2 Svartalfs, it would probably hardly ever happen, but just in case, and for some reason you can't synchro summon, let's go ahead and do an Exceed summon, get Taras or Adrius. But like I said, this is basically just for an emergency situation. You do want to synchro summon, or get out Loki before you use these, but we'll just keep them in for backup at the moment. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my Loki deck. My Nordic Alfar deck is what I call it. So yeah, give me your opinions on what you think, any advice on what you think I should do, anything different. I've tested it out on the Dueling Network. It works pretty well, a lot better than the Nordic Beast. I've put it up against my Naturias, takes them down pretty easily. So yeah, I'd like to hear your opinions, your comments. Please subscribe, I appreciate it, and Kira Twig out.